Good morning. Yes, the chin's still red, but I've no makeup on it or anything, so there we go. What the hell's going on with my hair? Good morning, everybody. Don't look at it. I'm going to sit here like this, I think, for the full live stream. Right, there we go. There we are. There, I've got the volume down and everything today. I'm having a good day, actually. I'm really, really happy right now. So I'm very happy. How are yous anyway? How's everybody? I'm doing good. So I am. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's freezing here. I've got my cardigan on. It's freezing. You'll hear my wash machine going. I'm washing the doggy's bed. Their bed's getting washed right now. But it's absolutely freezing outside. And I said to my mum, this morning, I'm not putting the heating on, Mum. I'm not. And she went, is it really expensive, your heating? I said, Mum, it's nothing to do with the expense. I says, it's just the thing. It's just I'm not putting my heating on in July. It's just a thing I'm not doing. I'd rather sit here with 3 coats. It's the principle of the thing. That's what I was looking for. That's the words. It's the principle. I'm not putting my heating on in July. My poor mum, is it because it's expensive? I said, no, it's not. Ivani, I hope I'm saying your name right. Good morning in the beautiful Netherlands. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing good. I've been for my swim this morning and had a jacuzzi. That's what I've done. I always feel better when I do that anyway. You know, I feel fresh and squeaky clean. I'm always squeaky clean. And I lotion up. I've got to lotion up. Here, unless the naked ladies in the changing room, then there's no time for lotion. It was like Evolution. It was like the scene for Evolution that day, when the guy gets taken and he's got the fly inside him, and they say they've got to take the fly out rectally. and the nurse says lotion, and the doctor says there's no time, no lubricant. And the doctor says there's no time for lubricant, and he's shouting, there's always time for lubricant. Well, that was kind of me, only it was in the changing room with the naked lady. Good morning, sweet Jenny. Good morning, my lovely Jenny. How are you doing? Pip, my gorgeous Pip. Good morning, Pip. Good morning. I hope you got some nice shopping in Asda. Hope you got some nice shopping. Tiffany, good morning to you. 2 a.m. Oh, there's lovely stars. Thank you for these stars. I do love stars. Stars are my thing. Brittany, good morning to you, lovely Brittany. Good morning. And you're from Utah, Tiffany. That sounds awesome. Oh, my Jenny's still not. Jenny, I'm going to just send some ASMR vibes to you. That's what I'm going to do. And try and make you feel better. I'm feeling great, actually. I've got a smirk on my face. Green Rose, good morning to you. I can't talk about it right now, but I'm going to have a good night tomorrow night. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, wait, I get my water. Water today, being healthy and all. Listen, I'm losing the weight, guys. The weight is coming off. So see, I'm telling you, see, by Christmas time, I'm going to be a nice wee fit thing. I'm going to be thinner. Oh, my poor Jenny. And it's rotten that it was your birthday and you didn't feel good. That's doubly rubbish. That's doubly rubbish. But see, special occasion, I swear this is, I hope this isn't going to be too much information. Thank you, Tiffany. But things like that always happen to me. See, special occasions, stuff went down. I've been waiting on like a special occasion for a long time, right? Go for girl, good morning, and then something happens to ruin it. Like, for instance, every single holiday I have been on, it's been that time of the month. It had to be on a 9-hour flight. That, ladies, that's a whole another level of horribleness when you've got to go 9 hours on a plane and the toilet situation on the plane. And it's that every holiday I have been, my lady friends have always went like that. Hello, we're coming out, even when it wasn't due. I'd be like, oh, for God's sake, there it's happened again. I'm pretty sure it happened in my honeymoon. That's like, oh, for... That's, you don't need that in your honeymoon, do you? That's not a nice surprise. Always happens to me, special occasions. Brittany, that I think they're at it. I think they're at it. Every special occasion I've went on, or every time I thought there was going to be some kind of action, there they were, they're early, flooding on a plane and stuff like that. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, right, because this saved my life on the plane. And maybe you haven't thought of this ever, right? So I'm going to tell you this. And it's the only time I've done it, but it was an amazing thing to do. As I say, it was a 9-hour flight, 9.5 hours or something, and it was a direct flight from Glasgow to Orlando. And it was time at flooding like that. And I knew a pad wasn't going to cut it. So I actually got an adult diaper, or nappy as we call it, I swear to God, and wore that the entire trip. And it was great. It was great because I never had the worry, because you don't want to be leaking, do you, when you're on a plane? You don't want to, and you feel icky anyway after a 9-hour flight. And so that's what I done, so that to prevent the leakage. And I thought, see if they're going to search me and all that at the airport today, they've got a whole lot of new kind of searching to do. Do you know, I'd be like, here, I like to wear them because they make me feel good. I'd wind them up. Oh, can you see, Brittany? I've not had one for a long time, but see, there you go. See, I'm going back a few years here. I'm going back. God, for mine's always came on when I was on holiday. Always. Honeymoon, there you are. There you go. That's what you get. Birthdays, there it is. New Year, Hogmanay. That's it. Christmas, even though, you know, Hogmanay is only a week later, they would still be there. They would still be there. See, there you go. There's been leaps and bounds and stuff, obviously, sanitary products that I just don't know about. But see, that's what I done, and it was a bloody great thing that I done, I'll tell you that, because I wasn't worried. See how they always say, these towels have got a bit in the middle that draws the blood, and not at Disney. I want to go, not at Disney. It floods out, still floods. I swear, I went to the doctor, right, this is going back years ago, before even the cancer, and I really had terrible periods and stuff. And I remember going to the doctor and saying, Doctor, my bed is like a murder scene in the morning. My bed is like a murder scene. Do you get it now? It's not like a couple of spoons of blood. It's everywhere. It's up to my neck in the morning. And he was like, like that. We tried everything to stop them, but they didn't. They weren't going to stop. I had every kind of bloody birth control under the sun. Thank God I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm good. Pip, do you know something? When I worked in the sewing factory, this was going back when I was 16, and there was a wee woman that was, like, we were all in our sewing machines and kind of lines, and there was a wee woman in the sewing machine before me, and I swear she just stood up one day and went down like a tree, bang, just straight down, bang, like that on the floor, and we all got up and everything, and that's what it was. She was, it was her time of the month, and she was really bleeding heavy and pain like that. Straight down she went. Never see, I just bang, like that. I'd never seen anything like it. Oh, here, do you know what I remember about the sewing? This is a bit graphic here, right? This is a bit graphic. Um, the sewing factory, my machine was a twin needle folder, and there was a wee lady, as I say, in front of me, and one day she was underneath and she was putting in a new spool for the sewing machine, and her foot accidentally hit the pedal, and the needle came right through her finger, and her finger was jammed in the machine, and she was fainting while she was at the machine. To bring the mechanics over to try and take the machine apart to get her fingers out. It was we all got told to go into the canteen because people were fainting, looking at her fainting. That was some work, though, I'll tell you. That was, and it was intimidating. I'm going to tell you a story that I've probably not told you, but it was an intimidating place. Celia, good morning to you. Good morning. Oh, Tiffany, that's a shame. I know the feeling. What was I going to say? Right, so this sewing factory, there was like 500 women, right, of all ages, 500 women, and 3 men. And the 3 men were the mechanics. There was one young guy and there was 2 like, older gentlemen, and they were the mechanics that would fix our machines when they broke, which was all the time. Anyway, so guys that came into the factory would always be like, look at me and everything like that. I'm great. And in fact, I've got another story to tell you. So, if a guy came in and he was walking down the factory, we'd all get our scissors and we'd start banging them on our machine and going, oh, and all that. It was great. And you see, the guys came in and they were like swaggering in like that. And see, when we all started that, can you imagine the noise of 500 women battering on their sewing machines and wolf whistling? These guys were running, big red face and everything like that. But see, the first day I was there, women can be chancers. There can be some chancers out there, right? I don't play. So it was my very first day. I was 16, right? And I was in this place with all these women that I'd never met before in my life. Knew nobody, right? Starting afresh. And I went into the canteen. It was lunchtime. And I sat at a table and I'm sitting, and you could smoke away. So I was sitting smoking and all that and having a wee cup of coffee. And these 2 girls came over and sat next to me, right? Sat in front of me like that. And I'm just sitting, having a smoke and that. And one of them said to me, go and get me that salt, right? And I went, the salt on that table? Aye, go and get me the salt. I said, there it's there. I said, go and get it. No, I want you to get it. I said, go and get the effing salt yourself, you chancer. I'm not getting you the salt. Get it your bloody self, I said to her. I thought, no way, prison. Here, it's like prison here. You don't let them push you over on the first day. You do not let them push you over on the first day. I told them to go and do one, even though I was myself. I was like, absolutely no chance. Get the bloody salt yourself, you lazy git. I was nearly a prison bitch, even though I wasn't in prison. They tried it. I wasn't. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not falling for that. Beat me up if you have to. If I've got to take a doing, then I'll just need to take a doing. But I'm not going to be somebody's lackey. Is that the proper word for it? I hope that's not a bad word, but it used to just mean someone that runs about after someone. So that happened at the bloody sewing factory. A lot of stuff happened at the sewing factory. The wee woman that done the canteen, she had a wee bit on the side, and she used to sell jewellery and stuff like that, right? So you would go to her and she would have all these like rings and stuff like that, and a Tupperware box. She'd have all these gold rings and stuff like that. And you would just go and you'd say, how much is that? And she'd say 20 quid, and you'd say, can I give you £5 a week? I no bother, hen, I'll put you in the book. Like that. And we used to get jewellery and all that off and pair of £5. £5. It was some place, it really was. And then seeing special occasions like that, we would hire strippers. I mean, what's a girl to do when you're in a factory like that? And there was one guy, oh my God, I'll never forget. And it was a wee older lady, right? So, I mean, I'm talking my mum's age. And us being bad that we are, we got her a stripper. So we made sure this guy was going to be coming at lunchtime. So here he comes in, big beautiful guy. He comes in and he's dressed like Satan. Dressed like Satan. And oh, he's got this all woman up, and he's got the woman on his lap and stuff like that. And she's pure screaming, but she's loving it. She's loving it. So anyway, he does his wee dance and makes her take her rose out his G-string and all that, all that good stuff. And then we all went back to work. And as we were going back to work, she'd done that to me, and she went, "Linda, I felt it." Wee old woman, I was like, that's made her day, isn't it? That's made her day. Oh, Pip, see that? I always worry about they two running away. I'm glad you got her back. But so that was a bit, I mean, it was a great place that way. And see, once I was in the place for a while, we were all like in a wee kind of clique. But oh, by God, women can be bitchy as hell. A lot of times we were like, right, come on, yous two. Square the nut. Right, that's a Glasgow phrase. That just means stop it. Right? We go, square the nut, you. Square the nut. Right? We used to do that all the time. Because the hormones, premenstrual tension was a thing in there. And you could feel the vibes as soon as you walked in the door. It was great. And we were in a union. And we used to go on strike, right? For things. Right, ladies, we're going on strike today because one of the supervisors said that somebody's child was ugly. And we're not having that. Who's with me? We're all with me, right? That's it. We're striking at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we'd just stop our machines and clock out and go and sit in the canteen for 10 minutes and then come back and clock in and get back into it. That's what we used to do that. It's my craft video. Good morning to you. Pipsy, my mum's dog, she's a wee Jack Russell. She's like Houdini. She can get out every kind of harness known to man. My mum has tried every single harness and leash and everything. And she knows how to get, she goes backwards and stuff like that, and she gets out all the time. And she's even smaller than Poppy. And my mum and dad have got like a kind of main road that buses and stuff go down, so that's a terrible worry about her. And they too, see if they've seen a DOG, they'd be off. They'd be off. Tiffany, I know that we used to strike for stuff like that. Right, that's it. It's unacceptable language, that. They said that to Donna Marie. They said that to Donna Marie. She said, my child was ugly, she said. Right, that's it, girls. This is it. This is serious this time. Strike. And then the supervisor, they go, I must apologise. I wasn't meaning that your child was ugly. I was just meaning that it was beautiful in its own way. Your child is actually precious. You've got a precious child. Like that. And then we could all get back to making bras and panties. Pip, that's what we just used to strike for anything. Right, the coffee machine's broke again, ladies. We're not having this, are we? We need our coffee to make bras and knickers. Strike. We used to strike for the craziest stuff. Oh, Goldust, she's doing marvellous. She was away having a wee coffee yesterday, so she was. Which is wonderful. I'm so happy that she's out and about and doing things. She's a miracle, is what she is, Goldust. She's an absolute miracle. She makes me smile every day. She makes me smile. All my babies do, mind you. So my mum and dad watched that video that was talking about the war of tomorrow. Is that the word? The war of tomorrow. Oh, they loved it as well. They loved it as well. I watched it a second time yesterday because I didn't see enough Chris Pratt the first time. I had to watch it again. Oh, I do like a bit of Chris Pratt. As you know, I've got posters of the man in my bedroom. I've none of Aquaman though. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird. I've none. I'll need to maybe look into that. Maybe I could have Aquaman on my ceiling. Maybe used to do it. I used to have Adamant. I used to have Adamant on my ceiling, so I did. Oh, he was like in fact, see, this is where my obsession with pirates. If you didn't know, I love pirates. Like Johnny Depp, right? I really like Johnny Depp, but only when he's dressed as a pirate. Only when he's Jack Sparrow. I've got a thing. Goldust, I know we should have him a wet. He should be in the water, Goldust, as well, because we need him to be wet. Dripping wet Aquaman. See, that's the stuff that dreams. Oh, see, Adam and the Ants. I loved, and I remember my very first disco. Right, my very first disco, and it was a Catholic school I was in. So we were in a disco, and I dressed up, and this was my dressing up as Adamant. I had brown dungarees. Right, brown dungarees on. I remember them distinctly that I wore to this disco, and my mum pinned feathers and stuff onto my dungarees, right, and had a stripe across my face. And this was, I must have been in primary 2 or something, so that's about 6-year-old, right? About 6-year-old was at this disco, and there I am, dressed like that. And even at that age, somebody came over, one of the teachers came over me or something and said, "Are you one of Adamant's warriors?" And I said, "I'm his girlfriend." There you go, that's what I said to the teacher, "I'm his girlfriend." 6-year-old. Oh, I did love Adamant though. They were corduroy, yes, they were corduroy. They were brown corduroy dungarees, so they were. And they had feathers on them, so when I was dancing like that, all the feathers were all flicking about. I felt as if I was the coolest person in that whole room. I felt like Adamant's warrior, actually. Or girlfriend, warrior stroke girlfriend. I felt good in my corduroys. My first disco was great. And do you know what song was out round about that time? One that went D-I-S-C-O. D-I-S-C-O. Give me a D, delightful. I, it's something, something. I remember that. D-I-S-C-O. D-I-S. I mean, I remember that song. That was all out at the time. Yes, Beth, I do. I don't like it. I really don't like. And I'm wearing my mask. See, even when we're told we don't need to wear the mask, I think I'm just going to wear the mask because I feel better wearing the mask. So I do. And yes, I don't see if I go to Asda, I'm in and out as fast as I can possibly get. I don't even like browsing anymore because I just don't like it. In fact, we had a true story about this morning even, right? So in my swimming, there's a machine that it doesn't dry your swimming costume, but it spins your swimming costume for you once you're out your swimming costume. So when you take it home, it's not soaking wet. You just hang it up and it's dry in a couple of hours, right? So I was sitting on the bench right next to this machine, and I was getting dried and stuff like that. And this lady came over and she put her costume in it, but she was so close to me. And I was like, oh God, that's a bit close. You know, I shouldn't have sat next to this machine. So it's still in my mind. See, I was in the 70s, Pip. I was born in the early 70s. Yeah, that's right. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Oh, I loved that, man. I loved him. Here, don't know if you can remember this, but there was a big to do. There was a big carry on one year with Adam and the Ants. It must have been going back 70s, early 80s, something like that. And this they had a guitarist in the band. I can't remember the guy's name. There was a guitarist in the band anyway, and he wasn't happy because Adam Ant was in the Royal Variety performance. Right, We all wanted to, I couldn't wait to see him in the Royal Variety, but we used to look forward to that show, right? The Royal Variety performance. So Adam and the Ants were going on that show, and the guy took an absolute crazy turn. He just started smashing his guitar and stuff like that, and shouting to Adam Ant that he was a sellout because he wanted to do more punk and like go into bars and stuff. He didn't want to be doing the Royal Variety performance. So he left the band that day. We was smashing up and doing stuff. I think he was sticking his middle finger and stuff like that up as well. Children were watching that. So that was a big thing back then. Yeah, I still feel a bit thingy about going out. No, listen, Beth. See, don't be bothered what MD else thinks. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. My thing just went down there itself. Yeah, I think it's a lot better now. I think we're kind of going out the woods. I think we are. But see, if you just need to watch the football or watch the tennis now, they're squashed in like sardines. Squashed in like sardines. So, and anyway, see when we were, me and the girls up the gym were talking about this. Remember, see when we were in complete lockdown, do not leave your house lockdown. Folk around here were still all having parties. they were all, they were all partying. They were partying as if it was 1999. I'm telling you, they were all having a wee party. Not that I would ever say anything to them or grass them in, because I'm not. I wouldn't grass anybody, but they weren't giving that. They were not caring. Yeah, if you feel anxious, don't do it. It's not worth taking a panic attack. Beth, just sit down and take some time out for yourself. Make a wee cup of tea and just sit and look out the window or think about nice things. I like to think about Florida. See, when I'm really, really anxious, I go to Florida, and there's a certain place in Florida I go, and it's Typhoon Lagoon. And in Typhoon Lagoon in Florida, they've got these big tire things that go down this lazy river, right? And that was like heaven to me. And I remember sitting on that and just going down the lazy river, and the Beach Boys was playing, and it was the most wonderful feeling ever. So see, when I'm really like that, I try and visualise myself going down that wee river, and how relaxing it is. The 90s were great. The 90s are where when I was a raver. See, I went through many phases. I'm still going through them. But just don't push yourself too far. Wee bits each day, Beth. I loved it. The 90s were all the glow sticks and stuff like that. Happy Mondays, they were my group. Oh, I loved the Happy Mondays. If you don't know who the Happy Mondays are, you need to watch them, because there's a guy in the group called Bez, and he couldn't play any instruments and he couldn't sing. All he was there to do was dance badly. And we used to always go to see concerts and stuff just to watch Bezzy dance. He just used to dance like that. He did have maracas, right? And he would shake his maracas and dance. That's what he would do. I loved the Happy Mondays, they were great. And the Prodigy, oh yeah, get the Prodigy on. I loved the Prodigy as well. They were the days. They were the days of good music. What's happened to the world? Sounded like my mum. Yeah, breathing does help. Deep breaths in and out. In fact, Cosa, did I say good morning to you? I hope I've said good morning. If I didn't, I'm sorry for being rude. Good morning, lovely Cosa. When I told you I was shoved in a MRI machine, like a big fat sausage going through the inside of a toilet roll. That's the way I felt, right? In that machine, face down like that, and I was taking a panic attack, and I had to stop. and try and deep breathe, deep breathe, deep breathe. Oh, Keith, I know, Keith. He was a bit. Did you see? I liked Keith better before when he was like a hippie. He was like a hippie before Keith, and I liked him better then than when he was a spiky, pierced guy. But even then, he was still awesome. The Prodigy were excellent. Are you? Cause well, I was shoved in an MRI machine like a big fat sausage going through the middle of a toilet roll. I was in getting. I'll tell you what I was in getting done. They were trying to find. It was when they found out I had cancer, and they were trying to find the primary tumour. So I went in for this procedure where I had to lie like Superman like this, and they had my boobs down these things and held them tight, and I had to lie like that, and they had the thing in my hand, and I had to lie and get, I don't know what, but they were injecting in me like that. But it took a while to get the boobs in, it took a while to get me situated in the blooming thing. So it did. And then for me to turn around and say I was taking a panic attack, I had to look out the top of the machine and just try and breathe. Do you know what I said to myself there though? I said, pretend that you're in a Bush Tucker trial and I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Green Rose, yeah, it was the same up here in Scotland. We used to go out and then you'd hear your mum shouting you for something to eat or that. But at night time you would come in when the street lights went on, you would come in. Yeah, it was. They did find the primary tumour cosa in the breast. By doing that, it was really, really deep inside me because the mammograms weren't picking it up, and they found it in my breast after doing that scan. But it was the whole. I was panicking. I was just I couldn't breathe, and I did feel as if I was a big fat sausage squashed in. Do you know what I mean? And lying like that, I felt I just couldn't breathe. And I had to just bring myself down, which I did. Thank God we managed it. We got through it. Can you remember playing it, Megan? Can you remember playing that game? We called it Chappie. We called it Chappie. I don't know what the obsession was, but we used to chap strangers' doors and then run away. Ah, you saw so you and your husband were both into that. Did you call it knock knock run? We called it Chappie. They want a game of Chappie like that, right? And see if you were feeling extra bad, see the person that chapped the door, you trip them up so they would fall and you would run away and they'd get caught. What kind of people were we? Do you know what else we used to see when I think it, we just used to go to random doors and go chap chap. Is Paula coming out? Who? Paula? Paula is Paula. Oh, you've got the wrong door, hen. Have it, does Paula no stay here? No, there's no Paula here. And right, okay, bye. I don't know why we done that, but that was, see, we never had iPhones back in the day. We couldn't troll. That was the 80s of trolling right there. That's what that, see, Chappie and all that, that was the 80s trolling before computers and all the rest of it. There's Miss Guy. We were wee trolls, that's what we were doing. That's what all that was about, trolling. And then, see, when we would make perfume, how many people done that, made perfume? You just get some water, you know, just normal water, and you would go around picking flowers and shoving flowers in the water. Right, and you'd be like, that's going to smell amazing. It always smelled horrible. It didn't smell like perfume. You were like, it's a bit bogging. Yeah. See, that was us trolling back then. Yeah, my favourite game was pretending I worked in a fish and chip shop, right? Back in the day in Scotland anyway, your fish and chips went into a wee like tracing paper thing, and then it went into newspaper. It got wrapped in newspaper, right? So we would get our mum and dad's old newspapers, and we'd go out and we'd sit in the grass and we'd say, right, what would you like? You want a fish supper and you want sausage supper? No bother, I can do that for you. And you'd get your newspaper and you'd put a couple of sticks in it. There's your sausage and some grass. That's your chips right there. Do you want some salt and vinegar? Salt and vinegar, a wee bit of dirt. There you go. And then you would wrap it up like that, the way they do in the chippy, and then go, that'll be £2.50, please. It was a great game. I loved that one. Oh. Cause it, did you? See, some people had that language, that eggy language that they done eggy. Look, I can't spell to save myself, so there's no chance in hell I'm going to be able to put eggy in front of vowels or consonants or whatever. Yeah, that was yes, that was my favourite game. I'd high hopes myself. Would you want to do on your own? I'd like to work in a fish and chip shop, please. Either that or work down the bars. I mean, there's £2 for £1. Sport socks, get your sport socks, £2 for £1. Or 2 clipper lighters, 2 lighters for £1. 2 for £1. I'd be good at it. Yeah, Megan, see, we used to do stuff like that, so we did. We used to do stuff like that. In fact, here, memories are coming back. It was me and my friend in school, and we were really naughty, as I say, and we were just waving to cars, and people would wave, and see when they waved, we'd turn it round and we'd give them the middle finger. And then we would run, right? We would do that. That's what we were doing. That was our entertainment for the day. And here this car comes round and we do it, and there was a guy in the car, and the guy waves, and we turned it round and gave the middle finger. The car stopped immediately, and the guy got out and shouted my friend's name. It was our uncle. It was our uncle. And we got caught doing that. He never grassed us in or anything like that. But that was funny. It was either that or we would... See, we used to watch Fame. I don't know how many yous are as old as me, but Fame was a great show, and it was all about dancers in New York. These really fit dancing folk that used to just dance on the street and stuff like that, and just see in the middle of a canteen, somebody would just burst out into song, and the whole canteen would get up and they'd all start dancing. Right? So we used to stand on these barricades, and when a car came round the corner, we'd go, Fame, and we'd jump off like that. That was, as I said, we never had phones or anything back in the day. Here's my craft video. That's stinky. Whoever was the least stinkiest. I can imagine that your parents were happy with that game. I think your mum gone off. Oh, put that in the washing immediately. Get into the shower. Beth, anytime, and listen, see, you can always get me on Facebook if you're needing to talk or privately or anything like that. I'm always there. Oh, I can imagine ASMR craft video. I can imagine. Yeah, Pip would I told you it's my big brother's favourite game when I was a kid. I didn't like the game at all. I hated the game, in fact. My brother used to get a bit of dog jobby on a stick and try and poke me with it. And I'd be like, get it away from me, get it away. And I'd be jumping back and he'd be like trying to poke me with this dog poo. That was his favourite game. Or we'd go to the opposite side, right? Because we lived in tenement buildings in Easterhouse, right? So it was our block, and then there was a block in front. So we didn't like that block, and they didn't like us, right? We were like sticking our fingers up. You get away, use. So we used to sneak over to their side, and we'd get the long grass, and we would get one bit, and then tie it in a knot like that. So when people were running through the grass, their foot would get trapped, and they would fall. So you make sure there's a bit of dog poo roughly where you're going to do this thing. So when they fall, they'd fell in the dog poo. That's what it was about. And this was back in the day. My mum had a twin tub washing machine. You know, washing was a lot of work back then, you know, and then the wringer, and then the pulley in your kitchen. We'd all come in reeking of dog poo. See, they were the days that, I mean, I remember mum saying to me, right, go out and play, I'm going to tidy the house, and I'd be going, nobody's coming out, go out and play with yourself. And I'd be out kicking stones and stuff like that about the place. That's when we all came up with the game. You could do this with anything, right? Like, we used to do it like with tin cans and stuff like that, and you've got some rocks, and see if you don't hit the tin cans over, your whole family's going to die. So it's a serious, tense game. It's a serious affair. This game is no joke. So if you're sweating your sibs, need to get the cans over. Everybody in my family is going to die if I don't knock these cans over the stone. Oh, Jesus, I missed the first gin. Right, okay, let it be. If you just hit one can over, everybody will be safe. And then you'll manage to hit a can over and save the day. Nobody dies in your family. Is that a Glasgow thing, or does everybody play that game? You know, but you could do it with a dartboard, see if I don't get a treble 20, by the way. The dogs are dying. Oh, Jesus, I got a 20, but let's just kid on, it was the 20 I was going for. That's what used to motivate us. To do things. If you don't do it, everybody's dead. I don't know why. But here, that was another game. That's the game I used to play when I got told to get out and play myself. Hunter, good morning to you. It's my craft video. Thank you so much for coming in. Enjoy your dinner. See, I mean, this stuff. My brother used to make. We called them go-karts. My brother used to make. All you needed was some old pram tires and a couple of bits of wood and some rusty nails and stuff like that. No brakes at all. Listen, you've not got brakes in these contraptions, and you look for the biggest hill possible and you go right down it with this thing on. By God, your shoes get wrecked. And listen, see, when we were kids, you only had a couple of pair of shoes, right? It wasn't like nowadays. So, see if you're going down a big hill and scuffing the toe right out of your shoe, your mum's not going to be happy with you. Yeah, Megan. Yeah, it's Tiffany. It was a tense game. I didn't like to play that game, but I'd have to play it. Sometimes I just feel the need to play it. Right, see if I don't hit all the cans down. That's it. Everybody's dead. We used to add the dogs. The dogs are going. See if I don't score a treble 20, right? See if I don't beat them. That's it. Dogs are dead. If I don't beat them, that's our pool. The game's a pool, right? See if I don't pot that yellow ball. Right now, that's it. That's it. The world's ending. The world's going to end if I don't pot this yellow ball. Thank God I potted it. Saved the world. Absolute hero. I don't know why we played the game, but that was the games that we used to play. It was fun. It was fun times. It was fun times without phones and stuff like that. I know, Sky, I know. Sky, and also a lawyer. See if you're meeting me, get yourself a good lawyer as well, because we might need it. We might need a good lawyer on hand. Oh, they were the days, eh? I think, Megan, maybe that's what it was. Maybe maybe I was playing that game. That's it. See, if I don't get a treble 5, there's going to be a global pandemic on the hand. It's going to start over in China. Oh, just a missed. Oh, what can I do now? I've just ruined it. I've just ruined the whole world now. That's it. And see, I think Kevin Bridges spoke about this, and he said he played the same game. So that's how I thought. Here, we're not alone. It must be just a Glasgow thing. And he says he'd be playing the game, you know, your whole family's dead if you don't hit the cans over and stuff. And your mum would shout at you, come in for your dinner. You go, I'm saving the world right now. I'm saving the family, Mum. Saving the family. All of you made me miss. That's your fault. I know. COVID is my fault. Well, what can I say? So anyway, guys, I'm going to go, but I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow. And listen, I'll probably do my makeup later. I was going to say I'll be all done up tomorrow. But I won't be done up tomorrow morning. I'll be done up tomorrow afternoon. And I will see you then. No cover garage, I knocked the can. Yeah, Sky, we need that lawyers on speed dial when you're with me. That's what we need. A good lawyer. So anyway, guys, I love you all very much, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, everyone.